All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vanity Overwatch League playoffs, round one between Pray and Spray, Totes Magoats. I'm AJS0. I'm here with Destructive Dude in 30, and it looks like we're going to be jumping right into things. 30, are you ready for some best of 5 Overwatch?
I am, and I am excited to see how these teams operate in the playoffs, right? I mean, they pick the maps, and you can come in with certain set strategies if you pick the maps right. And maybe these teams have been practicing going hard in the paint, but unfortunately, Pray and Spray coming in at least game one here with an emergency sub in Blabur.
Yeah, emergency sub and their standard sub. Salvo playing for like his 8th match this season. As far as I'm aware, as this series goes on, Pray and Spray will hopefully be able to get some of their starters back in for the further games. So they may have some incentive to actually draw the timeout on this Dorado. But real quick, before we start, I just want to give everyone a rundown who's maybe newer to the BOL. So our playoff format is a format that requires to play all the map holes, or all the map game types. So we will be playing a different map type for each of the first 4 maps. We had a kind of a map type picking phase, and then each team gets the chance to ban a few maps before selecting. Overall, these teams have to be prepared to play most of the maps in Overwatch, and they get a lot of opportunity to pick to their strengths here. So I'm really excited. We're gonna, there's no excuse to end up on a bad map. You get to ban 2 maps, even if it's a game mode you don't like.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you should at least once or twice in a best of 5 here, you should be able to play on a map that you do feel comfortable in, and hopefully bring something cool out.
Yeah, but here we go. So Utsuma Goats coming off a huge 3-0 dicking of my team last week. They boomed me. That fucking UTech boomed me.
He boomed ya, and I guess he's booming with the Orisa. Orisa Hog, Torbjorn, Zenyatta, Anna, and a Sombra. So a cute little pirate ship here. Chromatic on that Sombra, which we saw a lot of last week too. Some pretty good success.
Yeah, I really like them. Chromatic's drawing a lot of pressure away from the teammates that drop. Labur has already popped the ice block down on the ground. Good wall to make his way out, but we are around the corner with this cart. Labur playing nice and aggressively. I actually really like this. He's being very effective here, creating a lot of pressure for his team. And there we go. Picks starting to come through. Both of the sports go down for Totes Magoats. Nice and early. Senpai, Albino Joe getting those shots, and they are gonna hold here in the good old Dorado first choke.
Yeah, I mean their composition just didn't really have the right answers to what Pray and Spray was running. So Blabur, you know, subbing in here, it does very well. His May does very well here on Dorado first point in this choke. Chromatic maybe getting staggered out here. He does. But most importantly, it was Senpai on the Soldier on that high ground that was completely uncontested that did a lot of the work there on the back end of the fight. So we'll see if they can maybe switch the comp up or maybe look for an Orisa Hog pull to try to get him off that high ground.
Yeah, this is kind of worrying if you're rooting for Totes Magoats, which I'm not because I don't want to see this team later in the bracket. This is a team that's been slow to switch all season. That has been, you know, other than last week, why they've been losing so many maps. So we'll see if that affects him here. Going in with the Blizzard. There's ult advantage of Pray and Spray here. There's picks coming through. Daniel, Chromatic both going down nice and early. Checkers in the kill feed bright and early in this playoff match. And this is another huge win for Pray and Spray, who only had to commit a single ult there. They haven't had a death yet. They haven't had a death yet.
That's insane. Yeah, and they only used 1 check mark. They got 5 online. That's some ult efficiency if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
But Chromatic, he does almost have an EMP. He's doing the standard loop around, sort of in that back area. But Senpai, he's very aware. I think everyone is aware of what the Sombra is doing here. And there we go. Somebody switching over to the Diva to contest that high ground. I'd like the switch there.
And here we go. Senpai here's you. Senpai on the high ground. Going to force that transcendence onto Mighty Wolpus. The Qs are starting to be pressed. Molten Core was kind of going up there as Albino Joe does go down. Senpai down as well. Albino Joe did never get that transcendence. There is a res on Albino Joe though, so that trans will still be available for Branch Man. There we go. Transcendence on the card. Buying a lot of time. Here's a minefield gets dropped. EMP though coming out of Chromatic. This could be the big one, but there's still a Valkyrie Checkers up in the air. The damage is coming through very slowly, but now okay, thanks, and the turret and the Chromatic down. They've lost Salvo, but I don't think it's going to matter as Pray and Spray is mopping this one up.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking really good there out of the gate for Totes Magoats, but I just sort of the sustain and the tankiness of Pray and Spray, they come out on top. The double supports ults, you know, they paired up there, not ideal, but it was enough sustain to keep them alive. And yeah, 50 seconds left, so ult economy's basically been reset except for Blabur, who's on his 2nd Blizzard now, which is going to be huge for this next fight.
Decker's so aggressive with that res, almost gets got, but barely. Mercy's out of
dying
there.
there for that might be worth it just for the blizzard here.
Oh, they get a D-Mech on Smetty. This could be big. 35 seconds to go.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna try to farm it back or just go back to spawn and get the remake. But it looks like they're gonna be here to stay. Utech getting the primal, or sorry, the nano on this Winston, gets discorded though and has to fall back. Head Reaver just being that annoying ball, finds the cart. 17 seconds left.
Yeah, I actually really like this minefield. Stalling out a chance for his teammates to get topped off. As now actually the late picks are coming through. The Totem Goats didn't fully reset here. Now they're down 2 in what could be this round-ending fight. Down 3. This is not looking good for the boys in red. As Senpai's gonna pop this tack visor to try to mop things up. Albino Joe gonna transcend on the card just for good measure, and Smetty's not able to touch. And you know, this happens on Dorado sometimes.
It does. It happens a lot in the Betty Overwatch League. Probably a lot less than it should. Yeah, I mean, they had 4 ults at the end there. They just popped just for the heck of it, right? They used their ults so efficiently there. Probably the best I've seen out of Pray and Spray the entire season, honestly. But I think it might just be sort of the sloppiness from Totem Goats not really having a clear game plan after they get to the card in this choke, it seems.
Yeah, I think I would have, like we were saying earlier, rather seen some swaps earlier out of Totem Goats there instead of waiting around to get their first round of ults, which didn't end up actually winning them the fight. But now they have a tall order ahead of them here. We'll see if they want to cheese or not. And this is a really tough discussion whenever you're on a team that gets held this far on offense, is do you want to cheese on defense? And my personal philosophy is generally no. I feel like if you can't lose a single fight, cheese usually doesn't work. If you want to go for something like bunkery, I feel like you're going to eventually get the other team's going to swap and counter you and win the one fight they need.
Yeah, I mean, it technically depends, and especially on escort maps. Sometimes on defense, it's good to cheese, but really, really close to the enemy spawn, so you could get a second fight in before the first checkpoint. Now, unfortunately, I don't think they got far enough where they can do that strategy, so they're gonna have to be content with just the normal setup here, and it looks like, yeah, they're gonna come out with the bunker. It's a safe bet, right? It's a pretty clear win condition on what you're supposed to do here, but it can be easily broken. There's a lot of ways you can break it. But Lure on this Mei, which is actually a great answer to bunker. You either just shield it in front while you move ahead, or you actually elevate the Bastion up with the wall and kill him. But okay, Thing's gonna get the better of his Omnic foe there.
Yeah, they don't have an Orisa. Salvo with the shitty hero pool, he's playing Reinhardt. This offensive Bastion, and it's not going good so far as there's a few picks coming through. Okay, Thanks not getting a lot of defense here, and actually he gets slapped, not that it matters because there's multiple picks coming through for Pray and Spray, and at least so far they have holding this one. Or sorry, Totem Goats holding this one.
Yeah, so I mean, Utech did jump down on the Orisa. Yeah, it looks like basically everyone except for the Mercy Bastion had jumped down, but there's the reset now. But when they were down there, they were stopping that card progress, so they still have a good hold of where the card is now. Chromatic only at 37% for the EMP here, but I assume there's not a lot of areas to build it up so far. Oh, Smetty getting frozen on this D.Va could be huge. Gets slept. Does he get D-backed? And he does. Dano in a very weird place, but okay, Thanks with the Bastion ult. Take Senpai out of the sky. This is exactly what they need.
Woo!
Take out the Mercy too. Okay, Thanks coming out huge on this Bastion, but he can't die. There it is, picking up the salvo as well, and I don't think any members lost for Toast Goats.
I think they might have lost, they lost a mech early, but that was it. But what a huge fight from OK Thanks. As soon as they lost that mech early, I saw the gears turning in my head. I was like, this is it. This is the fight that Pray and Spray can win the game off of, as Head Reaper's going to try to C9 this.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so, OK Thanks gets swept on the guard. Head Reaper just trying to pull the aggro, gets that mortality field out really early. This huge EMP in the back line. OK Thanks able to follow up a little bit, but Chromatic loses his life for the Dano. Do anything going in for this risky ass res.
Oh, that was so bad. Dano was, he's, I think, just Valkyrie wearing off here now. Blaboor's gonna drop a Blizzard on the cart. A defensive D.Va ult out of Smetty as he is sitting there in this, in the mortality field. Here we go, finally the picks coming through. Pray and Spray gets a few kills, but the Bastion's still alive here. OK Thanks looking to win another fight on his own. Can he do it? He's getting hacked. He's still, finally going down. Senpai in the back end with the barrage, and it was going good for a while, but That was too long to hold. Pray and Spray finally pulls through, and they take their map pick, Dorado.
Yeah, Star just came tumbling down there. There's only so much you can do with a static defense like that, but okay, thanks, Sharpshooter on the Bastion tank form.
This is so good.
Yeah, it's first person perspective. Get to see it, boom, and there's another one
the
for
flying
you.
pharmacy.
That's amazing. Take out the Ana as well and sidestep the Reinhardt with the simple left click, and it was a valiant attempt for a defense there from Toastman Ghost, but I mean they're just oh my god, that's insane.
That's a real gamer moment right there, gentlemen.
Yeah, that sure is. And I gotta criticize Dano a little bit here. That res he attempted at the start of that last fight, I think just lost Toastmagos the map. I know I've been a little critical of his Mercy. I think his Mercy's a lot weaker than a lot of his other supports. It just does not seem to be the hero that clicks for him. And that to me was a completely panicked res he went for. That I don't think was necessary because they still had a decent defensive position going into that fight. But instead, Dano jumps in, attempts a res, doesn't get it off, dies, and Pray and Spray is finally able to power through that choke point. And to me, it's a really bad sign that if coming off an awesome week 10, Totsmagoats is playing against an emergency sub, and they're coming in panicked in game 1 of this playoff series.
I disagree with your meme there. And watching back the replay, you can definitely see. I don't know who in the world was playing D.Va for Toastmagoats at the time that Dano went for that res, but they did not have their DM up in front of like 7 people. So whoever it was playing D.Va there definitely is through. So rest in peace, Toastmagoats. I think it was Smetty. It was probably Smetty. He's the other tank player. Definitely got to know when and when not to DM right there when you're out there protecting the Mercy. But it was a risky res nonetheless. And it's a tough match to watch for Toastmagoats. But also, they beat us. So I'm biased. Screw those guys.
Actually, I want to talk about that Smetty on the D.Va again, because the reason this team has been... Smetty specifically has been hyped up all season is that maybe he rounds into Overwatch form late on because he's played other pretty high level. Maybe he can come in and start playing some hit scan, which we've seen happen so many times in the past where a player translates specifically CSGO skill to being a soldier and a McCree player. Last week, Smetty was playing hit scan. Why is he playing D.Va this week? He doesn't know how to play tank.
D.Va's not a tank. As the resident D.Va boy of this league, D.Va's not a tank. Let me tell you what D.Va is. D.Va is a 750 HP hero that does literally everything you could ever ask for and then some. So if you play aim, you just shoot. You can shoot your little machine guns. You got your rockets. You got your DM. But also, contrary to popular belief, D.Va does take slight skill. I know no wonder in chat's gonna roast me for this, but it's fine. D.Va takes a little bit of skill understanding how to play, so putting Smetty on a carry that he doesn't ever play, knowing how to control DM is very important because you got to remember that DM is not a shield, and Smetty used DM like a shield, ultimately caused the rest of the game to collapse. Not to mention on attack for Toastmagoats, they weren't doing dive. We have seen UTech play Winston all season at a very high level, even against teams that have been good at defending against dive. No Snowbee, Dr. McCurry, Death Squad, 50cc. They've had glimmers of hope playing dive against most compositions. I'm very surprised that they did not run dive right out of the gate and decided to go with bunker garbage. They should be sticking with what they know if they want any chance. At this point, it's not about messing with compositions that you haven't ran with, experimental bullshit. It's about running what you know, playing to your strengths, putting the square peg in the round hole as much as you can until it goes through, and that's what they should be looking for to do this next match on Blizzard World. Thoughts? Team? Friends? Oh shit, the cops are coming.
I agree with everything you said. But it's also going to be a tough uphill battle here because Tasty looks like he is subbed back in for Pray and Spray. So, I mean, that was really the game, or the map, I should say, to win for Toastmagoats.
That feels necessary if you're going to win a best of 5, that you have to take the one with the emergency sub. This is like the Rockets losing that game against Kevin Durant's not playing for Golden State.
Okay,
it's all
here we
over
go.
there if you can't win that one. And Tasty, he's been incredible this season. He's missed a fair share of games, but Pray and Spray is just on another level when Tasty is playing. So we'll see if they can keep their coordination in check, which obviously has been inconsistent for Pray and Spray this season. But here on Blizzard World, I mean, this is a Widow map. We're probably going to see it.
Oh yeah, I fully expect OK Thanks and Tasty to get down and dirty on some Widow battles here. It's a matter of though, like on defense here on this first point, teams they can run bunker, they can run like a sort of a standard Ryan Zarya 2-2-2. I have a feeling we're gonna see bunker out of Prey and Spray again, but like Drew was saying, I'd rather not see it from Toast McGoats. I mean, I'd actually rather see him play goats or dive or just whatever they feel comfortable on. And to go on to Smetty with the D.Va play, I think he's just sort of filling the role for his team. And unfortunately, D.Va, while I agree isn't a super tough mechanical hero, it takes a ton of game sense and knowledge about the game and where you need to be, where to DM, how to use your boosters, and obviously it's just not up to that level yet.
And especially when you consider, like we've been saying before, that he has all this knowledge with playing like fast games, especially like Counter-Strike, which is where he's come from. Putting him on a character that requires a little more game sense and not just point, aim, shoot is very difficult, especially when you're talking about, you know, playing bunker or playing dive. You have to either be playing D.Va, which is a character you need to understand cooldowns, or you need to be playing Roadhog, which I haven't seen him play like any Roadhog, or if he has, it hasn't been good enough for me to notice it. You're putting this new player to Overwatch and into this league situation in a spot where he needs to play absolutely perfect in order to stop the presence of Prey and Spray, especially do something against Senpai, and he's just not able to hold up to the task. So maybe it'll be different on Blizzard World. Here we go, baby.
Yeah, Toadsma Goats heard you complaining, and here we go. Starting with the dive, Sombra Genji, the DPS, the obvious tank picks coming through. Smetty's still going to be on that D.Va. So they're running it with the Ana as one of their healers. Kind of the Dano special is Toadsma Goats just rushing their way over to the point. They're going to pull Prey and Spray down. It's Senpai. Oh, nearly gets got Senpai.
Oh!
Get combo. He's traded with Chromatic. 5v5 on the points. Maybe worth it if you're Prey and Spray. If you're Toadsma Goats, sorry. As there is a res coming through. Checkers, nice late res on the Senpai. Now, man, disadvantage for Toadsma Goats here. So they're trying to slowly work their way through this, but they've lost the mech, they've lost the Mighty Wolf. And this is probably going to be a good fight for Toadsma Goats as they are trying to get their way out slowly.
Yeah, excellent awareness, running the dive comp, understanding that they're going to put Senpai on the high ground. We've seen this before. Knowing your matchups is very important, especially in playoff formats. You have to know who and where you got to do in order to do stuff, you know? Winning games. They ran the dive. It didn't work. But that's a smart play to run the dive against this team. You know that Senpai is going to be sitting in the back playing some sort of DPS here that does damage from range.
Yeah, we really want to talk about going into this next fight here. Look at OK Thanks and Dano. They almost have the Nano Blade available. And this may be unintentional, but it's smart thinking because we know Prey and Spray, a lot of the time they don't have that defensive ult. They have to win this fight with the Nano Blade coming through. Because if a Mercy ult and a Moira ult are enough to defend through it, this series is over. And here we go. Albino Joe with the nice early coalescence. Here we go. The Nano Blade coming through, but his teammates have already lost a lot of health. But Checkers and Senpai are down for Prey and Spray. This might be the fight. OK Thanks is slicing, but he's not doing much dicing. But this is still a fairly even fight at the point. UTech popping the monkey ult as a dragon is going to be coming from the defensive spawn. OK Thanks and Smed now going down. This is, despite the good start, not looking good for Toadsma Goats as UTech barely makes it out. But everyone else on his team is dead. UTech has to jump off and reset.
We taught you. Swifty brought up a really excellent point there. Nano Blade was the win condition going into this fight, and OK Thanks pops the Dragon Blade. Electric Weave Stick comes out and gets a big old goose egg for kills. No kills coming out for OK Thanks on the Nano Blade. Absolutely heart-breaking situation there, as now the ult economy is switching in favor of on the defensive team. But we do have Ground Tide coming out from Head Reaver very quick here. The Mighty Wolf has that Transcendence. Mighty Wolf picking up the kill on Senpai. Eva Bomb comes out. Nobody going down. UTech taking out Albino Joe. Fight breaks out on point here. And only one pick so far. Okay, thanks.
That's both of the healers down though for Prey and Spray.
Graviton comes out.
Nice.
Transcendence also comes out and trade here. Salvo trying to put a Fire Strike in, not getting any picks with it. Charges on point, but gets killed by the Mighty Wolf. And it looks like, fingers crossed, this should be a point take on Blizzard World for Toadsma Goats.
Yep.
Yeah,
Standard closeout here. Albino Joe just getting a little bit of extra time on the clock, but I was really hoping Toadsma Goats would win that fight because it didn't. It looked very grim for their outlooks in the series. All the ults lined up perfectly, right? Mighty Wolf had the Transcendence for the grab that was going to come online, and some good coordination out of Chromatic. And OK Thanks to Genji Sombra. They went for Checkers on that Mercy immediately from the get-go and got her out early.
Yeah, we do see some swaps coming for Pray and Spray. The DPS going over to Kree Reaper, and Head Reaper also swapping onto the Roadhog. So they think they'll be a little more well-equipped to handle some of this tank this way. But Head Reaper maybe a little deep, gonna get poked, but he's fine.
Can you ever really be too deep?
The first choke. Yeah, maybe. Senpai maybe a little too. Oh, it's gonna be a trade though. 1-for-1 here is now the Nano Blade coming through. Checkers does get the res on the Senpai once he's going down, but Totsmagoats currently has Pray and Spray very split up, which is right how they want them with this blade coming through. Is they find a bunch of picks. They lost a few, but it shouldn't matter. This card's gonna keep moving.
Well, some good DM work out of Smitty there. I mean, he a little too late to save one support, but he comes in and saves Mighty Wolf from the scary backline Reaper. So some good coordination, some good communication from Totsmagoats here. And there's the Diva Bomb, just gonna plant it right down on the ground. There's the there it is, the 3K bomb. Perfectly timed as well. The Nano Primal, not needed, but looking cool as anyway. And they'll take second place.
So good out of Chromatic. Didn't pop that EMP until the last possible second, so that Totsmagoats thought they were safe behind that Rhine shield and instantly get fucked by a situation they could not react to. We're finally seeing some proper ult comboing coming out of Totsmagoats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looking really good.
Might be a couple weeks too late, but it looks like they're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive here as we're pushing on to third on Blizzard World. Hack comes on to the Diva here, but okay, thanks. Getting that weep stick out, but does not get the Nano, but doesn't need it. Gets two before being taken out by Tasty.
Yeah, that's both of the supports down, and now Smetty get the kill at Head Reaper as well. They've lost one, but it's just the Genji. He did his job. Totsmagoats is gonna get this card damn near the end. As the picks are still coming through. They take out Senpai, they take out Salvo, and they haven't been stopping the cart this whole time. They're gonna barely have chances to respawn here. UTech going a little deep, he does go down. That may have actually been costly, as Smetty's very low as well. They don't want to lose both of their tanks here. They want that beef still available. This cart is now just a few meters from the end. They've lost, they've traded. Dano and Senpai right now is on. Letter number!
Letter number! Oh no, they had three online and then a Transcendence 8% away. Hate to see it happen.
Was so bad because yeah, they were right there outside their spawn. That was still a 50-50 fight that Pray and Spray had the chance to win, but instead Totsmagoats, you know, sometimes it takes a while to get it up, but once that Viagra kicks in, they are thrusting and pumping away here. 2:20 on the clock.
Wow. Yeah, excellent all combinations there at the end by Totsmagoats. You'd like to see a team that's been struggling with that the entire season actually put some good alt changes together. And you know, the big question mark here is does Pray and Spray take out Tasty and bring back Blab? I'm just saying.
I thought it was really weird that Tasty brought out the Mei on the first point Blizzard World. He actually sort of hid in the shadows and he just backlined their supports, like freezing them and headshotting them. So,
honest question, do you think that they did that because they were feeling disrespectful after how map 1 went, and then they brought in their best player for map 2, thinking, hey, this is going to be easy, let's just keep running this Mei to really stick it to Totsmagoats? But if you watched last week, I mean, Totsmagoats, this is one of the maps they played and won last week. It makes sense that this was their map pick. Maybe Blizzard World's just one of their maps.
Yeah. It certainly seems like it. They did really well after they got that first point. They pretty much rolled on through to the third one.
And now, 30, tell me what this comp is out of Pray and Spray.
Oh boy. So I mean, they're one of the two teams in this league that likes to run Reinhardt and Hammond at the same time. But you also got a sniper in there, Tasty on the Widow. You got Senpai on Tracer, and you got the supports that maybe don't make the best of sense for really any of those here, except for Widowmaker and the Mercy. But I don't know what they're trying to do. I think Senpai is going to be on a solo one-man mission here in the back line, trying to disrupt people. Head Reaper gets hacked in the back. Yeah, he might get taken out here by Mighty Wolf. But Tasty coming in big with the headshots.
Yeah, Senpai is putting down mad pressure right now, and it doesn't matter what the comp is. If you've got somebody just fragging out of his fucking mind here, Pray and Spray, that's the point.
That entire fight was won solely on the 2 DPS coming out of Pray and Spray. Tasty, Senpai, Tag Team Tandem, WWE Tag Titles coming in to seal the deal. Get 5.5 for Street Space on Blizzard World. Tasty with the double headshot. Senpai with the 2 full clips on another couple members of Toads McGoats. And that's all she wrote as Smetty taking out Salvo. Tasty taking out the Chromatic. Trades coming in. Going to be good for the attacking team as the cart now goes through on Street
There's a
Space.
snipe on his senpai as well. That's a big pick on Salvo. That should give Toads McGoats the chance to play this up very aggressively. Their tanks though have to be careful. They're very split from any of their healers, but UTech is jumping towards the cart. They want to try to hold this on that first choke, but UTech going low. He gets discorded, and the best CC in the game is death. UTech hard knocked out.
Widow battle. Smetty swooping in. Gonna play midline defense in this intense matrix. Tasty has to run away from that one.
And okay, thanks to quick scope Senpai. 360, get your Mountain Dew and your Doritos, boys. It's phase time. As okay, thanks takes down Senpai real quick. Tasty trying to get the kill. Gets the trade back on to the Widowmaker. We're down to a 5v5. UTech diving the backline. Not a whole lot of pressure. And this is where I feel like Pray and Spray is most weak. How do they counter this dive, this counter dive, this defensive dive here? UTech getting all the free dive in the world. Just kidding. They're just gonna kill him. Oh! 3-man bomb from Smetty. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Oh my god.
Smetty, they were not expecting it. But still, though, this might be Pray and Spray's fight, but we're currently both teams in that spawn rush. UTech does take out Tasty. Header Reaver gonna put a minefield down on top of the cart. This could be big, but not big enough. The DPS comes through. It looks like Toads McGoats has finally stopped this push.
Yeah, Albino Joe, he had just popped the Transcendence too, and I think the call was to move in, to go forward and get space, so his teammates were kind of caught off guard when sort of the slow roller bomb comes in from Smetty.
What?
Okay, thanks. Picking out Senpai again, a critical shot on a Tracer.
I've never seen a Widow hit a Tracer so many times in a row before these fights break out.
Yeah, I mean, Senpai's just maybe not taking the right path because he's somehow encountering, okay, thanks, Sightline. There, but turn right back. Tasty taking out Chromatic.
And that's EMP unavailable. That the big ult off the table for Toads McGoats. This Pray and Spray is still very far out, and once again!
What the fuck's I gotta look at this guy's perspective. What is going on?
Nano gets a grenade from Header Reaver, and that's another fight stopping in his tracks as it looks like a Nano's coming through here. No, you didn't want to transnet. You'd already lost the fight. Big out of Toads McGoats, putting this pressure down. And they're not done. The tanks are going in deep. Oh, they're EMPing deep. They want to break the backs of Pray and Spray here. Looking for it on a Senpai. He's going to make it out, though. But this was some big ults committed. That could turn into an opportunity for Pray and Spray to start pushing forward. They have sites available.
Yep, Chromatic's going to have to just play really safe and defensive here with the sights up. Can't sneak in the back. Invisible here. Smetty throwing in another flopper. Oh, pick that up by the Joe.
Roth, there were shields there. That's 2 picks to 1 right now. Sorry, is Toads McGoats pushing this one forward with the man advantage. UTech putting out the big pressure. He does lose Chromatic though. Shot from Tasty turns this into a 4 versus 4. These tanks though are still putting the pressure kind of deep. As Smetty's going to be DMAxed, and that could be the big one. Here you go, Header Reaver going forward. He drops the minefield. That was not a great minefield because no one's fighting on the cart, my friends. As these picks keep coming through for Pray and Spray, but the cart
What is this supercharger? What is going on for Pray and Spray? The communication, the comms are about as cluttered as my fucking inbox after signing up for local hot singles in my area. They need to understand how Overwatch works. Salvo has like 0 character pool right now, and he's dropping superchargers 3 feet away from the cart that's moving. I need to know.
Oh, Smetty wanted to get out there and contest, but nice body blocking out of Header Reaver. Now this is a bad situation for Pray and Spray here, as they're going to get staggered at this spawn here because they thought they were contesting the cart. Instead, they're going to get forced to this far spawn. They need to. Everyone needs to run out there and touch the cart. You guys, you can't run away. Just go and die on the cart. They're wasting so much time right now.
Yep. Yep, it's the little things, right? If every single person had gone into the cart probably wouldn't have been pushed to the spot that it is. But I mean, they're going to get staggered anyway. But there's a lot of ults online here for Toads McGoats, so it's still very winnable. Okay, thanks coming up clutch with a pick onto Mercy, so no res available here. Tasty chased out by UTech on this. Winston, there he goes.
UTech has the hard commit there. He's going to lose his life just as Chromatic pops the EMP, though. I think that EMP is enough to force Pray and Spray back off this cart, though.
And the big takeaway I want to take from this next fight, Senpai switching off the Tracer, going on to the Soldier. In one fight, he fired 53% of the visor, 30 as the resident Soldier Boy. I think that's pretty good efficiency.
Very good, yeah. And so, I mean, as maybe like 15 more seconds, should have the visor here. Smitty dropping the bomb once again, maybe just to get the remake back right away so we can keep the tank line healthy. Headreaver going a little too deep there in the back line. Mighty Wolf picking up that kill. And it's still looking good for ults on Toast and Ghost. They haven't used any of these yet, so they're still defending it, just trading 1 for 1. Maybe not even 1 for 1, so Albino Joe comes back up.
Yeah, they do not have a mech on the D.Va right now, so Toast and Ghost, they want to play this kind of slowly. Smetty trying to get those P shooter blasts in, but kind of hard through that Orisa shield. Is, oh man, the lead in Transcendence. That is the ultimate sign of a tilted Overwatch team. As now more defensive Transcendence coming out to Mighty Wolf. This cart still not moving. Only death so far. Okay, thanks. Lost the Widow's duel. As here we go. Now what's coming through Senpai, knowing there's no trans available on the other side. Wants
But he gets
to
slapped.
break it.
Oh my god, it's huge! He's almost slept through the entire thing, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his team is there to clean it up, but they use goddamn everything in the box of ultimates, except for Headreaver, so it is online. This could be a critical minefield that he lays out pretty early.
Bad peeking to Mighty Wolf. They didn't need a peek there. They had the time for everyone to spawn and for 6 to go out and touch that card together. Now it's not gonna be a 5v5, but Chromatic with the big ass EMP. A lot of low health bars, a lot of purples, and Toadsma Goats. They take out 3, and they're gonna take this fight, I assume, as long as they stay on the cart, and they are not risking it. 4 bodies, 5 on top of that cart for a while, as they're trying to stay here. Pray and spray. No, they needed to reset. They will have time to tuck, but it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, 18 seconds left. That might have been the last fight, at least the last good fight. It's gonna be a sort of a sloppy setup here. Headreaver, though, he can roll in from the back. Chromatic, though, he's looking for it. He's looking for this hack. Oh, runs away. Oh no, Chromatic maybe getting picked out. Able to use the translocator to get out. Checkers goes down, but Chromatic is traded 1 for 1. But this is exactly what they needed.
Senpai, though, he's coming into it. This is going to be trying to be a game-winning Soldier ult. Doesn't find any kills. Oh! Again! He heard us criticizing him. He says Josh Danko's not the only one that can press Q.
Oh.
And Toastma Goats do it. They win Blizzard World and tie this match up 1-1.
Yeah, wow, they really came out swinging. I love whatever locker room they talk they had in between map 1 and map 2. It worked. And Smetty, our boy, right?
Who?
The
I don't even know
non-Diva
which one it is. There's 3 Diva bombs this could have been. Look at him. That was perfect. The EMP combo was so clutch there from Toastma Goats. And for as tilted as this team has looked at times, they finally come alive.
Yeah, looking very good. 11 self-destruct kills for
That's
Smetty.
nuts.
Yeah. But I mean, really, sort of the play of the game there. Chromatic really with that 3-man EMP that set him up there. And I mean, it's on Smetty. It's on him when he decides to throw these bombs out. And he's throwing them at like the right time and the right spot, too.
When we're looking at this next couple matchups, it's going to be very interesting to see the DPS combo, Pray and Spray, and how they adapt. We all know and have been a victim of Senpai's American McCree. At this point in the series, knowing that Chromatic is going to be probably playing, has officially transitioned from Zarya boy to what the hell? That's a yikers for me, boys. Salvo's dropping. We're getting a full team. Getting a full team on a Pray and Spray, maybe. Ooh, baby. Anywho,
Right, so we did hear accurately before the match that both players would be available as time went on here. So we'll see if maybe that is the spark that's Pray and Spray needs to round out this series.
they need to put Senpai on the McCree at this point. If you're asking anybody that's watching, Senpai needs to get on the McCree and put a stop to Chromatic's reign of terror. He is absolutely tearing him up with these EMP Diva bombs. EMP anything. They need to get somebody that's hard countering this Sombra. Obviously, McCree's not the best bet, but being able to flashbang after you spy check her, being able to take her down in 2 headshots, easy win, especially with how good Senpai's McCree is. They're going to need that moving forward because it looks like Tasty is hard stuck in that Widow duel against OK Thanks.
All right, so just an update, everyone. Heading into map 3 here, it is Prince Spray's pick of game mode, and they've chosen 2CP. So everyone that told me we wouldn't see 2CP before map 4 and any of these playoff matches has been proven wrong right away.
PogChamp. Gentlemen, thoughts for map 3, game 3. Who wins? It's 2CP. Who wins?
I think Spades coming in here is going to be huge. he's obviously not the strongest player on Pray and Spray, but he does have more of a hero pool than Salvo, which, as we were criticizing early on, it really felt like they're trying to force Salvo on that Reinhardt sometimes. And I think Spades just gives them a few extra options for switching comps up mid-match that really could have helped them there on Blizzard World.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The pushing forward, especially after that, especially with how long it takes Orisa to get set up. I'm very surprised they didn't put Salvo on Reinhardt sooner, trying to just brute force that Orisa through the entirety of streets and third point. So very quickly realizing that Spades has a bigger hero pool. I'd like to see more dive stuff coming out of this team. I do not think that the talent in terms of Totes Magoats' support core will be able to stand a full dive assault from Pray and Spray. I think that's honestly one of the big. Both these teams can play dive. I want to see a dive v dive. I want to see some season 5, 6, 7 Overwatch. Give me something that's not this fucking death ball garbage. I'm sick of it. Bring back the Diva Winston Genji Tracer garbage. I want to see it. I want it now. I'm pissed. Also, Pray and Spray definitely takes this third map. They're not. I think they. Blizzard World's a lucky pick. A good map win for Toes McGoats, but I think, especially if it's gonna stick with Volskaya here, you put Senpai on the McCree on the high ground, it's game over, boys. We know what happens. We've seen it with same old song and dance. We know what happens here. Win.
Yeah,
Win.
and is this the map pick, Volskaya?
I would think this is the map pick.
No, it is not. It's going to be Horizon Lunar Colonies. I was just hovering it for fun. Because I'm watching the map picks.
Yeah.
I assume you are too, 30. I think we were both very confused there
Yeah.
about what had just happened. So, Horizon Lunar Colony. So, Pray and Spray saying, like, hey, screw what the popular kids think. We can do this map that no one else wants to do. And I think there's some big advantage to picking the map that everyone else hates if you feel confidence on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Microphone activated.
You
Microphone
can even
muted.
say there's a good strategy in picking Paris because it seems most players are just tilted by the thought of playing Paris.
Paris was banned, so we're all in the same understanding here.
We're safe. Yeah, we're safe from it this match.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Agreed.
the next ones.
Agreed. I think this is I think honestly picking a 2CP map plays in the favor of Pray and Spray because you already know that Totes Magoats is going to try and run that bunker comp and try and force that down the rest of the team with UTech shot calling to force that bunker comp, and I just do not think they have the fire and the gas to power it through. Yes, you were able to have Smetty do well with this Diva with having a good Sombra doing the EMP bullshit. Will that translate over into 2CP? I really don't know. I'd like to see them prove it. But I think Pray and Spray 2CP with Totes Magoats going to try and run this bunker comp. I don't know, man. Prove me wrong, Totes Magoats. Prove me wrong, Dad. Also, I have all my reserve albino coin and fucking cruise master money on this shit. So if Senpai loses, I'm out of money. I'm biased. Sue me, Mom. Sports betting's a thing. This is taking a long time.
Yeah, I think somebody ran to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, I got a joke. You want to hear a joke I heard today on the internet? All right, here we go. Here it is. What do you call a person who sells their body for spaghetti? A prostitute. Ha. And if you like really funny jokes like that,
all
make sure
right,
you guys
so
are
here we
donating
go,
your Twitch
folks.
Prime subs
Heading
to this stream.
into map 3, Horizon Lunar Colony. Pray and Spray and Totes Magoats playing to take the 2-1 lead. I'm still a little shocked that this is where we came. I hope we go out into space.
Yeah,
a
full 66 space fight. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
I think it'll be very interesting. It's an interesting matchup. I think we have to look at what the comps are going to be coming out. We're going to be having a Pray and Spray defend first, which I think is not what I wanted. I really wanted to see Totes Magoats defend first. I want to see if they're going to run this bunker comp, but we'll have to live to fight another day. 15 seconds to count before the people bring out their hero picks. I'm expecting some more Widow 1v1s, but I'd really like to see Senpai on the McCree. I wanted to see him shoot things. I've been waiting so long to see my buddy Nathan live up and be like, hey, I don't need free feed to click heads. I have my buddy Tasty here now. I want to see free feed. I want to see Senpai click heads. He's playing fucking Roadhog, dude. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm in peace. I'm out. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Interesting.
Tasty on the Baptiste, just like we all were hoping for.
Oh, this is 3-3, guys. It's not a goat. It's a different animal. But it is 3 tanks, 3 supports.
This is a different 3-3 than I've ever seen. Is this a thing, 30? These picks?
I've never seen anything like this. And they're gonna hold high ground. Okay, I mean, they're what are they gonna? Okay, I mean, when they drop onto the point, they are very scary, right? And I think they might have the tools to stop dive, right? They have Brig, they have Roadhog, they have Baptiste. And there you go, Toasted Goat's running something that has always worked for them in the dive, Genji Sombra dive, which, I mean, this is a great Sombra map, especially on attack here for Chromatic, so we'll see what he can do, which health packs he's gonna hack.
Yeah, so Chromatic has snuck his way around to the point, so he's gonna pull this team. Everyone now turning their backs to Totes Magos as Brand Spray makes down the point, but they're taking a lot of damage. No kills coming through though. Head Reaver hacked, but does hold on to his ball here, as meanwhile the tanks on the other side are taking a lot of damage, but they are not dying either as this slow fight. Head Reaver's going up, they're trying to force the temple, getting some nice knockups, and here we go. Oh no, here we don't go. This is gonna take the time
rolls right out.
Yeah, okay, thanks though. We're gonna go for the reflectors. Baptiste has already popped the ultimate, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade here. Smitty has also been demeched in the process, as this 3-3 is looking pretty healthy on the point, and it's Totes Magoats on the retreat. UTech going in, but looked a little out of sync with his team there. They've lost their Zenyatta, they've lost their Winston, and this 3-3 has done his job, won the fight on the point.
Yeah.
I said earlier I wanted to see Senpai click heads, and I was wrong.
You wanted to see him play Roadhog?
I just want to see my buddy Senpai succeed, but no, I definitely think this 3-3 is a good idea. We know that, obviously, we called it earlier, that Toast Goats, they like running the dive. It's probably their strongest comp. They run that a lot. They run the bunker a lot. Obviously, on offense, on this kind of map, they're going to have to run this. They really don't have a Zarya player, and I haven't seen UTech play Ryan since 1999. So, play into the dive. Play that 3-3 and make it impossible for them to dive squishy targets.
Here we go, a lot of ults coming through from Brand Spray, but there are a lot of ults available for Totes Magoats. As Smetty has made his way onto the point, and here we go, Nanoblade coming up, Chromatic though, hides before he gets the chance to EMP, and that could be the huge one. The Mighty Will, this Transcendence gets his team into this fight. Oh! Picks are starting to come through. This is looking good for Totes Magoats. Head Reaver popping a minefield on the point, but with a lot of supports and tanks, it's going to be really hard to hold this point outmanned. Spades trying to swing away, he does take out Smetty, but he is mad outmanned, and Totes Magoats, they're one wrecking ball away from taking this point. I think he just wants to reset here. And that's going to be point 1 going over to Toast Magoats.
How did Senpai die to that bomb? I take it back.
He was hooking while it actually went through.
I want Nathan to play McCree again. I take it back.
Yeah, I hopefully they switch off to something else.
Yeah, I don't like this, especially while Chromatic still has the EMP available. That could really break the backs of a no DPS composition.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they actually needed the EMP to win that first point fight, but they actually...
They should have.
Yeah, they should have, but they didn't need it. The Blade only got 1 kill, but I just think some disorganization from Brain Spray. The infield came out a little bit too early, and they all just got kind of pulled and scattered, which is exactly what Toast Magoats wants to do with this comp. Albino Joe going down first, that is huge.
Yeah, that's a big source of healing unavailable for this 3-3 as they are losing a lot of health. Tasty now down as well, so they have almost no option to keep themselves alive. Okay, Nix has died, but a lot have been traded in favor of Toast Magoats. Senpai trying to come through with the big hole hog as he's gonna find 2. Buying a lot of time for his teammates to spawn as Albino Joe has swapped over to that Moira. He's going to have stall options on this point. Senpai finally goes down. Chromatic didn't hit too many, but there weren't too many to hit there. But somehow, Prey and Spray are going to hold on to this point.
Yeah.
That was textbook Senpai right there. I've been going back and forth. I've been keeping my eye on him this whole game. He D-Max Smetty, and then immediately turns his head and grabs, okay, thanks, after the D-Mac, getting essentially 2 picks right away. Oh,
Oh, a little overstep here for Brain Spray.
Oh, God.
That's a big old overstep. Just the tank's alive now. Final Joe with the quick respawn though on Moira. Gets that healing orb out. But will it be enough to hack onto the Roadhog? Okay, thanks. With the Nano Blade, he's looking for a ball, but not going to pick up much there. The Minefield from Head Reaper. What can he do here? Checker swapping over to the Lucio versus Saltasi coming in big on this Tracer. 3 kills for him. Might be enough to save this point, even through the Transcendence from the Mighty Wolf. And not a tick game.
Oh my god, this is unreal. 2 fights in a row, back to back. Prey and Spray gets bailed out by their 2 best players. First the Roadhog, then the Tracer, single-handedly turning these bad situations around.
And if you're Prey and Spray, you better tell your team to stop WP Andying. This isn't Fortnite Battle Royale. Stop pushing when you've already won the fight. You don't gain anything, you lose. You give the enemy ult charge, you lose spawns. Luckily for them, luckily for Prey and Spray, Tasty decided to turn on the God mode and get a quick 3K installing the push out. Well, they better not overstep again, otherwise they can mark the end of Prey and Spray here.
Yeah, but here we go.
Coming out.
They wanted to EMP bomb, but instead they're gonna just get a kill on the checkers to 1 point. Chromatic packed a bunch, but still slow.
Big anti-nade!
2 for 2 on this point as Albino Joe keeping people alive with that defensive coalescence for a while. Is still the fight looking good. Spawn starting to come through now. Head Reaper on that ball. He's disrupting what remains of Toadsma Goats here. And this is looking like another 1 fight for Prey and Spray.
This is where the 3-3 release arrives. Dano had an absolute monstrous 3 to 4K Biotic Grenade onto Prey and Spray. But since all of these characters are so tanky outside of Tasty, it just doesn't matter. UTech is not able to zap enough to get enough damage to take advantage of that big Bionic Grenade. It looks like this heavy comp is coming in hot. Before they all die right here and it looks stupid. Lol.
Yeah, they are taking a lot of damage on this entry. Is Dano going to get pulse bombed? Senpai does go down. Actually, okay, thanks. Does find 2. The health bars are very low for the team. There we go, the Mighty One with a huge transcendence. A lot of low health teammates can be saved as we turn into, it looks like a 4 versus 4 here on this point. Coalescence is doing a bit of work though, as I think it was just too much for Toadsma Goats to push through as they committed a lot of ults but still get nothing.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. I mean, the first 2 fights that they had on the second point here, I thought were really clean, and they came in with a lot of picks, and it looks like they should at least get a tick out of it. But the first 2 fights, it was just some really good clutches out of Prey and Spray. But now, Toadsma Goats, they are not setting it up correctly. They're not getting enough picks to even push through to try to win this on a 2CP. The spawns are so close from the defense. You have to be impeccable on your approach here. And Chromatic comes in with the 5-man EMP. Will it be enough? The Nano Blade coming through as well. Okay, thanks. Gonna pick up 3 with that. This is the fight that they needed. Senpai getting hacked. Smetty Bomb up in the air. Why not?
And finally, they get at least the tick. Head Reaper trying to stall this ball, but he doesn't have a whole lot of health to work with. Albino Joe Checker's coming out there with support else. Tasty, can you do it again? I don't think so. Into a Transcendence Zone into Mighty Wolf. Well, they bought time to get some teammates back out of this point. 40 seconds to play. This is huge for Toadsma Goats.
A whole hawk coming out from the Senpai trying to drive back the enemy. Tasty, Senpai picking up quills in quickly in bunches. UTech and Chromatic as well. It's a big even fight on point. Wrecking Balls are doing work, but it looks like it's all going to Toadsma Goats. As after putting the square peg through the round hole with 19 on the clock, they finally take the point.
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Finally, the ults come through properly for Toadsma Goats. The 5th time is the charm.
You would think that a team who has played dive all season long would know when to get off the Winston. But no, this is a classic case of UTech W key. I'm triggered. Fuck it.
Well, he was on ball.
Yeah, he was there on ball for that last fight, but I don't know if there was a specific pick that was the problem there. It just looked like bad coordination.
Bad coordination, and they also, I don't know much about their DPS, okay? But I know that, okay, thanks can play pretty much anything. I don't know why they didn't get a Reaper there. They ran triple, what's this team? Prey and Spray ran triple tank for like the entirety of Horizon, and not once did we see a Reaper come out from Toadsma Goats. Absolutely bonkers. Luckily, they got it done. But only 19 seconds left. If we get a quick roll here, this could be huge. But focusing forward, Tasty brings out the Reaper first. Okay, who's giving this information, huh? They're hearing what I'm saying. They're like, oh, he's saying Totes but Goats should do that. Let's do that instead. We're praying spray, smart people. Jeez, I'm upset. I'm hurt right now. I'm freaking out.
I mean, I don't think this is gonna stick, right? Is he gonna roll out Reaper on attack? First point Horizon?
You know they're gonna play bunker. I mean, how else would you destroy their bunker comp? I don't know. Bunker sucks to play against,
well,
honestly.
Luckily for them, Head Reaper on this ball, being the ball player that he is, he has a very easy knockoff approach here. He goes through space and comes out on the top side. Let's see if he tries to do that. And looks like, yeah, he's opted for it. There it is, the push off. Classic.
Oh my god.
Nano and UTech and Chromatic are all down there. Immortality field to keep him alive, but the damage is done, right? You've broken up the bunker. Mighty Wolf goes down. No more res. Only Smetty on the point right now to contest a very sad and dead D.Va mech. And
this bunker now is attempting a retake here, and they're already outmanned. It's going to take a miracle play here. Okay, thanks, though. He is up on the high ground. Can he get got? No, it took a second. He took out one, but no, that is not enough. Pray and spray. They find all the kills, and they find this first point very quick.
I called that Totes Goats was going to play this bunker comp, and just as I call it, Brain Spray also knows they're going with the bunker comp on defense. Quick roll, and now you have 7 minutes. You're going to have to try and win this right here if you are Totes Goats. 7 minutes of heaven comes right now. Big fire strike from Spades, taking out OK Thanks. Senpai, W King, trying to get this positioning here. Lamp comes out. Immortality from Nano. The Mano does not matter here, as it gets taken out immediately. Senpai gets another kill, Smetty with a trade. But it could mark the end of Spades with a big charge from downtown. Head Reaper picking up the kills, as well. The kill feed is all Pray and Spray, and just like that, one fight in.
Oh.
And the stagger. OK Thanks is sleeping in the back. It's
Oh
not gonna
my
matter
God.
what fight, they win it all.
Oh man.
One fight is all it takes to take this into extras. Holy cow, dude. This is lit like Dubai in the middle of July. Wow. Wow. Someone give me some analysis. I haven't said it all day. I need some analysis, please. I know I'm being color guy, but holy shit, help.
Wowzers. I mean, yeah, not a great setup. They kind of got steamrolled here on the second point defense, but it was easily stallable. And OK Thanks was gonna be able to touch, but a sleep coming in from Checkers stops that one. So kind of an unlucky, but at the same time, not the greatest setups either on the first or second point. I'm really upset about Totes Goats in the first point, right? You have to expect Head Reaver. It's been played ball all season. Have you played Horizon Lunar Colony since ball came out? That is the standard Hammond play. Chromatic just needs to sit up there right next to his bunker and hack him as he rolls in. None of that happened. A 4-5 from the Orisa? No, nothing. It's so easily counterable, and they just die to it.
And this is where you have to start looking at what can Totes Goats do to try and bring the morale back up after getting smacked. And it looks like they're gonna try and bring out the dive tank. But here we go.
Yeah,
baby,
that morale thing. That's
it.
gonna be the really hard thing to bring around, because Totes Goats, they feel like they probably should have got the second point with 5 minutes remaining, not 1. With how winnable some of those fights were, that they were just being clutched on by Senpai and Tasty.
But here we go, though, Swift. We got the Reaper, baby. Pause.
I just
why is everyone picking Reaper in the weirdest positions? Like,
yeah, I'm not
Triple
on
tank,
this
though.
fight like you are. I don't think Reaper is the pick here, but we'll find out as the Mighty Wolf has already gone down. Chromatic just barely makes it out as the tick nearly goes over here. Totes Goats, 25 seconds to play. They have to win this fight, and they've lost. Okay, thanks. They've lost UTech. This is not looking good for Totes Goats. They've lost the mech. And they haven't taken a thing from this 3-3 that will never lose bodies with man advantage. And now only 10 seconds to play. Totes Goats needed to rush that point to try to take 2 fights, but they weren't able to. And now Senpai out there getting picks just for good measure. And that is it. Totes Goats, they got a long way to go to stall this one.
You look tired.
It's what we call winnable in the industry.
Score 2-2.
Well,
I don't think the Reaper was a bad call.
This is drawable.
I don't think the Reaper was a bad pick, to be completely honest. They knew they were going to run triple tank. Obviously, the execution wasn't there, but the call to pick the Reaper into the triple tank, even against a Hammond, I mean, you have
Can we talk
Roadhog
about
with-
Reaper in a triple tank for a second? 30, I'm curious if your thoughts on it, because I actually don't think Reaper's a counter in a triple tank.
He's never has been. Reaper's been pretty much a terrible hero at his role since ever. But I take a little bit back of what I said. The Reaper into the triple tank that they were running, I thought was okay. I was maybe just assuming they were gonna run bunker, but they didn't. But I just don't know about it in general. Like it seems really hard to get value out of it when you can run things like Hanzo or Junkrat
Yeah, the thing
or
with
Pharah.
Reaper's really good at bursting one tank. Like when a Winston or a Diva dives in, that's the really specific one that you see all the time. But when Reaper's trying to shoot into a just giant blob of tank bodies that are all being healed simultaneously, he's actually not very effective compared to the Junkrat or the Hanzo that are just chucking a ton of DPS in there, trying to get the big ult that can wipe the bodies out or the splash damage from the junk bombs. But regardless, I don't think anything was going to hold there for Totes, or for was going to work there for Totes Goats. They only had a minute to do it, and it's pretty hard to take a point with just a minute. And now, Prey and Spray are one tick away from taking the 2-1 in this series as they are heading up onto the high grounds. They will soon find this bunker on the other side. Okay, thanks. Clutch this one out as Smetty gets taken very low. You take very low as well.
Yep. And Toast Goats are doing sort of the standard. We need to hold on to the point for as long as possible. Hold where they just hold the corner here. But Smetty getting taken out early outside of the Orisa shield. Chromatic trying to get a hack off onto the tank players, but it's 2 kills from Spades. That might have broken up the bunker and broken Toast Goats' morale as well, as they will roll in and capture the tick and take map 3 here in this playoff series.
Victory.
Yeah, just some rough stuff there for Totes Goats. They had a long way to go. As there was a lot to criticize about Prey and Spray's entry there, but it didn't even matter.
Before we talk about Prey and Spray, UTech play the game on the ham, and here he goes, taking out the Ultimate Senpai, I think, with the bombs, taking out 1, taking out 2 with the bombs here, swinging in, getting the 3rd. And that's going to be all she wrote. Oh, never mind, JK, LOL, aha, you got him.
Damn, ever just walked into those?
And UTech grabbing that play of the game, he would say that's a consolation prize. So with his team back against the wall here, 1 game out of elimination from playoff contention. What do they do here? They have ran the same 2 compositions all night long, and with a meta that's heavily focused on 2 characters, Reinhardt and Zarya, they haven't ran those characters once. Is it time to whip out the big dick hammer, or are they going to continue to run dive into the ground?
I guess it'll depend on the map pick, and it is Toast Goats' map pick, correct?
Correctamundo.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna have to dig deep here and really think about what map will not only complement their playstyle, which, like you said, has been mostly dive, but also doesn't help Pray and Spray. It might actually be pretty hard for them to get a read on like what Pray and Spray is running, because they've run a weird bunch of heroes, right? Senpai was on Roadhog that entire map, pretty sure, except for maybe a stall hero. But
no, I think he was on Roadhog that entire game.
I wonder if they're going to keep rolling out compositions that are actually precisely tailored to counter Toast Goats, right? Because that triple tank, I've never seen anything like that. That was a weird conglomeration of things, but it was all anti-dive, and they all stick together enough, at least to win that map. So I guess we will see what we get down to. What is the game mode?
It's going to be King of the Hill. Somehow has made it to the 4th map, which there may not be another team in the league that wants to hold off this long. So Pray and Spray takes away 2 maps. They are going to ban out Lijiang and Ilios. So Toast Goats gets to pick from the remaining Koth.
Koth, okay. So already, I mean, stylistically, right? I like dive a lot on control. Bunker not so much. But I mean, Pray and Spray, they've ran just sort of standard 2-2-2 throughout most of the regular season and have found success with that as well. And I mean, Tasty can always pop off right on one of his mini hit scan heroes. Probably the Widow. Is Ilios banned? Looks like it is.
Ilios is banned, yes. Ilios and Lijiang
no
are the 2
ruins.
bans.
No classic Widow snipe down on Ilios ruins, but potentially to get some good Widow maps, or if I'm thinking like Toast McGoats is thinking, I think they'll want to go to Oasis here, because they could run goats, right? They could run something a little bit closer, like on University, but dive works really well on City Center and Gardens, or
Yeah,
the other one.
Oasis was kind of the first one. Even before I saw the bans, Oasis was the first one that really jumped to mind for me too. So we'll see if and yep, there it is. It comes through. UTech predicted us. We got Oasis gonna be map 4 of this playoff match.
Where are you guys seeing these? Am I drunk?
You're not in the captain's
Are you
chat.
drunk?
I am not. No, I'm not drunk. Oh, it's in the captain's chat. Okay. Okay, buddy. Oasis, big map pick coming out of Totes McGoats here. I'm curious. This game is going to be absolutely huge for 2 reasons, and they are both UTech and Smetty. They are gonna have to run dive because Senpai is gonna play some sort of hit scan bullshit on some sort of high ground, and they're gonna have to coordinate to stop him. Pay attention to Senpai. Pay attention to UTech and Smetty running Diva Winston. If they don't run Winston Diva in that respective order, then they're lying. And I don't know what this game is. But big brain play, right? Theory crafting here. Analysis with destructive dude. Insert theme song. But to Senpai realizes, hey, okay, thanks only has, or okay, thanks is an okay Widow player. What if I just play Pharmacy since I have checkers? Boom, big brain. He's playing. Oh wait, no, okay, wait, okay. He plays fucking Bastion. I'm gonna yeet myself out of a window. I just want to see. But.
Yeah, butts indeed. But yeah, Pharmacy actually is really good on this stage of Oasis. But honestly, we don't see a lot of pharmacies in this league outside of Heron, maybe.
Yeah, I
trying
think
to
we
think of when
maybe
we've
run
seen a
it
lot
the
of
most
pharmacy.
of anyone, and I wouldn't even say we run it that much. It's a drastic change from just about every prior season of the BOL. I think it shows that we have a ton of new Widowmaker players in here, because I think all the typical Pharah players are scared shitless to ever make that pick.
Yeah,
We're
especially
looking at
on
you,
that,
Heron.
that tailored.
We're looking at you,
right?
Aaron. Fuck you.
And it looks like neither of these teams are going to hover it, and Chromatic sticking with his Sombra. Man, this is a really hard situation for Toast Goats, because I really want to see them try Smetty on the Soldier and Chromatic on the Zarya, but Chromatic has had a lot of very good moments on the Sombra. I don't blame them for wanting to run it in the ground, especially going up against a Wrecking Ball borderline one-trick and Head Reaver. But here we go. We got Dive from Totes Goats, Rhine Ball coming through. A very Pray and Spray comp coming through for Pray and Spray.
Is it? Is it?
It doesn't make any sense to say it's a Pray and Spray comp.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I agreed. Big Sleep coming on to UTech there. As he gets stuff. Tasty double kill with the punches. 2 for the bird. Albino Joe making it 3 for the show. Tasty making it 3 for the show as well, just by himself. Making it 4. Quad kill for Tasty, opening up with a Doom Fist, and just like that, Grand Spray takes. Dude, if I get the cops called on me again, I'm gonna lose my fucking marbles.
Oh, don't worry, you got 2 casters here ready to carry if that happens. Just like Tasty is ready to carry on this Doomfist. Josh Danko, I've been waiting 4 years to watch you do that, and you never do. Tasty already with the ult available. He might single-handedly stop another push before it happens. Here we go. Head Reaver looping 1 raid. They are going to be fighting very far. Well, they were fighting far from this Doomfist, but he's fast. He's fist. And he's back on the point already. As, UTech gets in a little disjointed from his team there. Now it's going to be really hard for his team to get out here. And good call from Pray and Spray to force themselves down here. No, force it. W keys. Kill. They're outmanned. Kill them all. Senpai gets it. Albino Joe gets it. Senpai's taking a nap, but it shouldn't matter here. As those are such low health bars. I don't know what they're doing with this Reaper, but Senpai's going to send them down into the depths. A big hole hawk takes out a few, and this slow fight is constantly being won by Pray and Spray.
I just heard Swift say W key, and I've been using that call out in scrims and games for the last 10 weeks, and I'm really happy that's finally rubbed off on somebody.
Fat Finger. That was a general Fat Finger from stage. Unlucky, but still ult advantage momentarily here for this defense, because we're at 70. This is the fight. EMP comes through and only hits 3, but Spades did go down early enough. Checkers down as well. Annas are traded here. This is a one-man advantage for the attackers, but not for long. Albino Joe is going dramatic, and now as this fight is going on, Pray and Spray are starting to clutch this one out. There's still a chance as a sound barrier comes through from the Mighty Wolf onto 3, and it actually looks like Totes Goats maybe clutches the end of this fight out. What would have been the last fight, they do flip the point.
Yeah, and here we go. It's going to be a long uphill battle, but this is the comp that they're going to have to try to stick it with, essentially, right? Chromatic's still in the Sombra, but okay, thanks. Switching over to the Reaper.
He's got the ult. He's sitting there behind the pillar. He wants to just turn and ult as soon as this team comes in.
Oh, he's spotted. Punched into the wall by Tasty. Has to use the raids early. Can he pick up this kill? Meteor Strike to come through. Will it be enough? He keeps getting knocked around, but he will take out Doomfist. A great counter to that in the Reaper. Daniel22 picking up the first blood of this fight, but the sound barrier from Brain Spray from Albino Joe allows him to get onto this point and attempt the retake. Senpai with another whole hog. What can he do here? UTech spinning and winning. Head Reaver, I like that again too.
They were spinning together. That was so gay. I loved it. Oh, okay, thanks. He's popping the Reaper ult here. Gets both of the supports, and that might be it. Takes out 3 before going down. I think Pray and Spray is not going to be able to take the point just yet, as they are now the team in one fight territory.
Yeah, but Mighty Wolf just got back up, so he's going to be a little late to the fight here. Didn't get taxied. But there's going to be some ultimates for Cosmic Goats to try to stall here. What can they do? EMP comes through. Only hits 2, though. But it's Checkers and Head Reaver in the kill feed right now. Okay, thanks for the Reaver. He is back, and he has to come up big now. Ultimates have been popped for Cosmic Goats, and it looks like it actually might be enough here. Bombs are coming through. Spades with another beautiful fire strike. And it's just him left now. 86%. This might be last fight territory. I mean, last 6v6 at the very least. Tasty's gonna get here on this Doomfist. He's probably gonna get an ultimate too, which is gonna be pretty huge for stalling.
Is he? Yeah, he's just barely going to get onto this points now. Tasty can he come through big? Yeah, the time has been bought. It's a 5v5. Tasty did not get the ult before dying, but he did his job. He touched Albino Joe, dropping a sound barrier onto 3. Okay, thanks. Looking for the damage here. The Mighty Wolf still has a sound barrier available for the defensive Spades. Only hits 1. It's Dano though, and that's Albino Joe and Checkers both going down. Okay, thanks once again, taking out the supports as it's this ball trying to come through big from Head Reaver. Tasty, they want to do something here, but they're not going to be able to. And what we thought was a disaster for Totes Goats actually turns into them taking the first round of Oasis.
Wow, that was a beautiful run back, honestly. But Rain Spray, I think they might have just got lucky out of the gate with that composition. They were kind of still running that same type of composition, the 3 tanks, but instead of the 3 supports, they only had 2 supports, Tasty on Doomfist, and he just popped off, right? But aside from that, Toastman goes with a good switch. I like the Reaper into these 3 tanks, especially against the Doomfist. Does really well against him there. And some good coordination. UTech staying on the ball. Thought he was going to switch off after the first couple feeds, but comes through big. And Toastman Goats living up to their map pick.
Yo, I just want to say that moment where the 2 wrecking balls were both hooked onto the center of the point and spinning around together in perfect sync was one of the single most beautiful things I've ever seen in Overwatch. I love to see 2 little wrecking balls in love with one another, just having fun with their friends like that.
Celebration of Pride Month.
Both these teams sticking with the wrecking ball, and I don't blame them. UTech had some big points.
Oh, wait. He almost got a double boop, dude. You saw it. We all saw it. It says Smetty and UTech.
Albino Joe and Checkers are down. This is the 3rd, 4th fight in a row where Albino Joe and Checkers are the first 2 to die. At some point, maybe Zen and Anna aren't the picks into all this dive, and they need some more defensive options.
UTech has finally found his dive character that isn't hot trash right now, but he's trying to solo carry a team, and that's fucking Wrecking Ball. I don't know if he's ever heard of Wrecking Ball before this game, this match, but man, he is popping the F off right here, knowing that dive is his team's strongest composition here. As Senpai switching off of the McCree onto the Sombra to try and counter that Wrecking Ball. Spades going for the downtown Chinatown, not picking up anybody. UTech taking out Tasty. Picks are coming in for the team out of the Goats. UTech taking up
They're
2.
doing it
Chromatic with 1.
without any alts. Toadsma Goats getting a nice advantage in the economy off of all these kills. As looks like they're trying to get some kind of staggered kills here, but maybe not. Oh no, there it is. Checker's going down. And actually, Albino Joe. I see the coalescence early, and I just assume Albino Joe, but this is Dano on the Moira. As they forced Tasty to pop high noon. That was just a strange sequence of events, but we're at 52. And now UTech doesn't want to wait much longer, goes in, drops the mic, but a huge EMP from Chromatic. Dies in the process, but it was worth it. He's single-handedly going to win that fight for his team.
Hell yeah, the aggression out of Toadsma Goats, I absolutely love it. They're holding up close. They're not allowing this Reinhardt to walk up safely. But Senpai, he came out of the gates here with the counter Samba, right? He's thinking maybe I need to get some big fat EMPs and try to take out UTech, take out OK Thanks, but
Watch
there it
Senpai,
is.
though.
There's the EMP
Oh, he only hits 2. But one of them is the support, so maybe worth it to Mighty Wolf. He's going to survive, which means he has a sound barrier available for his team. His team is down, though, as everyone's kind of splitting this fight up. Sound barrier goes on to 4. As Toadsma Goats, they want to force a map 5 if they can somehow clutch this fight out. Oh, it's already over. I'm
oh
bad.
my god. Oh my god, that bomb was almost like legit 900
That almost
IQ bomb.
fucking landed. Holy shit, that was wild.
Yeah.
Stop the Spades to try and bounce this away. Oh, coming in, pressing Q, taking out 2 of them as well, taking out 3. Spades goes down. Head Reaver goes down. And OK Thanks is gonna see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna get a map 5.
OK Thanks is a
Wow.
Reaper god. I take back everything I said about being uncertain on that pick.
Reaper's
Reaper
not
isn't good. Reaper is not good. Reaper is
Reaper,
great
you
against
shut
bad
your
players.
Mouth. You shut your mouth. I called it. I'm a god. I'm a G.
Well, here we go. Play of the game gonna be OK Thanks, showing us just how great Reaper is against bad players. And it's right here. I thought the Toadsma Goats could slow down the tempo, but OK Thanks saw his shot and he shot it. Goes in and single-handedly ends Oasis. Forces map 5.
I just busted a fat one.
Oh yeah, the 4 card here. Toadsma Goats, the morale roller coaster in this series.
All right, so real quick, I just want to give everyone an update on the playoff format because map 5 does get a little different. So we've now played through all game modes. So map 5, what we do is the high seed, so Pray and Spray, they get to just outright pick the game mode here. And then these teams will ban back and forth down to 1 remaining map, and that will be the map we play. So this will probably take a moment, which is good, because I think we need a chance to catch our breath after just how crazy that Oasis was.
Yeah.
The Reaper out of OK Thanks, I mean, that was... Reaper's kind of one of those all-time BOL picks, but that was an all-time Reaper map for this league.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That a ton of damage from Reaper on, or OK Thanks on the Reaper there. It seemed like after that first stage, Pray and Spray didn't really have an idea of how to approach the second one, perhaps. Yeah. So they get to, Pray and Spray, they get to pick out of any of the 4 game modes.
Correct. And it looks like Escorts is going to be the map type. So
that's a smart pick. That's a very smart pick coming out, and that Pray and Spray picks that, right? They picked
correct.
that.
The high seed picks the game mode.
Yeah, that was a very smart pick coming out of Pray and Spray. They know, like we've been calling it, and they know that the strategy to run this bunker comp on these payloads is very prominent when it comes to TMG. I would really assume and hope that TMG Toadsma Goats knows not to maybe run this bunker comp running on attack here on Escort. But Escort, I mean, especially with UTech now, knowing how powerful that his Wrecking Ball can be, I at first thought this was going to be a sweep by Pray and Spray, but now I am fully convinced this is anybody's game, baby. This is going to be sick. Game 5, dicks are out. Harambe is rolling over in his grave. I know Heron's dad is probably too. Shout out to Heron's dad. Love you, Heron's dad. Heron made a dad joke to me earlier today. I'm getting him back for it. Fuck that guy. I hate Heron, dude. Heron sucks. Alright, bye. I'll see you later.
Okay, and Escort. Yeah, I definitely agree. A good pick out of Pray and Spray. I think this is gonna be better for them compared to Toadsma Goats. It's gonna be interesting to see, especially what Pray and Spray runs on attack here. I don't know if they can run depending on the map, I don't know if they can get away with the triple tank thing that they've been running. They might
It
go
looks like
Bastion
the
like
map
Pirate
has just
Ship.
been picked. It's going to be Watch Point Gibraltar
Whoa!
for all the marbles. And this has been Dorado, Blizzard World, Lunar Colony, Oasis, Gibraltar. This is not your grandma's BOL map pool we played in this series.
No, that's for sure. I mean, it's the land of jabronis, and no one wants to go here. But I guess Toads but Goats, or sorry, I guess both teams they banded down to this, and now I'm leading back towards Toads but Goats. This is a fantastic dive map. Like Winston and Diva love this map, right? Sombra pretty good there as well, but we're gonna have to see a Widow battle, right? Like this is a Widow map. Oh my God, this Senpai, he's been bringing a lot of Soldier though. He hasn't been bringing out McCree. He didn't even play McCree in the last Oasis map. He was on Sombra with Tasty on the McCree. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm very excited to see what these hero picks are going to be.
Yeah, I'm so nervous for this team. Gibraltar, one of the most momentum-based maps in all of Overwatch. This is a game where two dead-even teams can have one team full held on first point and the other team never stops moving the cart.
Yeah.
So both of these teams got to be very clear-headed. We'll see what these guys are going to run. Because the craziest thing is, after how mentally exhausting this series has been, one of these teams immediately has to turn around and play against Fine Dining and Breathing afterwards. We haven't even had a chance to think about that, because of how this match has been playing. Pray and Spray probably thought they were going to come in and get an easy 3-0 and just warm up. Instead, they've had to dig deep and bust everything they had available in the playbook.
Yeah. I mean, but at least they can go into the next match with some good morale, right? They came out on top in a very strenuous best of 5. Maybe not against the greatest of opponents, but whoever comes out on top will hopefully be a formidable opponent. And they are really doing it. They're doing it to me like that. It really be like that. Senpai on the Roadhog again with the Reinhardt and Hammond as the craziest 3-tank core I've ever seen. And they're running 3 supports again, but Mercy, Baptiste, Zenyatta.
There's a lot of pressure on Senpai and Albino Joe here. They are the kill pressure.
They are. Albino Joe is the DPS player in this competition. You guys understand this right now? Oh my God. But okay,
I had to unmute
bring it
myself.
out
This
Doofus.
is wild. This is fucking wild. This game has gone into some serious shit. Here we fucking go. Tasty playing Soldier 2.0, aka Baptiste. They got
The DPS is down!
Albino. What is this comp? What is this game?
Oh! Checker's going for the risky res and doesn't get it off this time, which is very bad on a defense like this. Every progress matters for the card as it goes through car wash here. Headreaver, he's hiding in the corner here, hiding in dark room, gonna go for the slam in the back, but his backline's getting eaten up by Toads McGoats.
Yeah,
Headreaver just doing his best to stall.
Yeah, VC was stalling that for a long time, and actually he makes it out with his life too. Now Chromatic goes down, and this actually should turn into an opportunity to fight again. Headreaver gonna jump the minefield, gonna make it hard for this cut to go, and Zutech is in pretty deep, and he just barely makes it. He's so safe going into it because who's going to kill him?
Oh, Spenny gets pulled in, and he does get DMAX as well. No bomb to pop there. Coalescence from Dano22 trying to keep his team alive, but he's gonna have a baby diva. The big slam from Spades gets hacked a little too late, but hopefully this might be enough for Pray and Spray. There's the immortality field, goes immediately away. And the EMP onto Pray and Spray from Chromatic, it's huge. Can they bring this back? Grid popped in response, so many ultimates popped, but Toads McGoats coming out on top.
Finally, the last member, Senpai, goes down. The card's pushing. That's going to be the first point going over. No, Headreaver says we can still fight. We will still fight. He's buying a decent amount of time. There's a Valkyrie up in the air, but Checkers and Albino Joe. It's going to be really hard to hold on this one. And now the Valkyrie is down. Albino Joe is going a lot of time. The Baptiste field is there, but I think they're just stalling for the sake of giving ult charge over to the enemy team here, as Pray and Spray is still getting mopped up on this cart.
Yep. Valiant attempt there just to stall it out, and let's see if they get staggered here on the retreat. Supports maybe are gonna get out, but oh my God, everyone from Toads McGoats is here. Only one in the cart. Beautiful coordination. I love the W key press there.
And this is what people hate about Gibraltar. When you have those late fights, you get spawned in such a hard situation to escape from. It's easy to turn into a massive stagger, and Totsuma Goats intelligently pushes forward as soon as they cap. That's going to get them almost the whole way through this hangar phase.
That's a good point, Swift. Like, this is the map for staggering. Bad spawn here, but the EMP again from Chromatic, the bomb over the top. Not actually finding anything, but the whole team is spread out from Pray and Spray. The mines from Headweaver, another attempt to just stall this one out as his team is deleted. And the second point easily capped for Totsuma Goats here. And there's going to be some bad spawns here. What can they pick up here?
There were some swaps. Senpai and Tasty are playing DPS, but what will they get with the checkers going down? It was a trade for okay, thanks, though. As Senpai's looking for some snipes up here on the high ground. Unfortunately, just a 1-for-1 that time. As UTech going in there, takes out the Widow, and that is going to get Totsuma Goats a decent amount of the way in.
Checkers at the intimidation game. I'm going to sap you by the end of this game.
Oh, here it is, though. You asked for it. You're finally going to get it. Senpai Checkers. 2 of the stars on this team going to be busting out the Pharmacy. They have to hold for a long-ass time still. Can they do it?
Perfect position to pull it out here. There's not a hit scan to really take them out of the sky. Doomfist and Sombra being the enemy DPS. Okay, thanks. Though on this Doomfist, taking out his own natural counter, and the Reaper takes out Senpai too. This guy, he's off the chain.
Oh, big here. Now, EMP from Chromatic, that looked like maybe a hero ball moment, but actually some picks are kind of being traded both ways. This is close to what even as Checkers gets the Anger Res, that's both of the supports alive, and Checkers somehow goes airborne just in time to dodge that Doomfist. A great jump out of her, but will it be enough? She is fanned, but Valkyrie here on this cart. Spades has been swinging away. That big hammer is buying a lot of time, as now here we go, a Diva Bomb in the back, unaccounted for by Yano. But now, Smetty chucking it in. Good block from Spades here. And some healers being traded. Tasty looking for the repro. It's looking like Pray and Spray. It's a staggery fight, but they managed to clutch this one out.
We still need you.
Yeah, good hold here. Tasty with the emote at the end. Some more intimidation. But yeah, thank God for Pray and Spray. They're able to stabilize. They're able to finally get a hold down so they can set up a proper defense, and this is a good spot to hold. Honestly, this is really tough for the attackers to try to push through. There's a lot of high ground that they have to clear, and so let's see what they can do here. UTech going up, getting onto that bridge, instantly contested by Headweaver, and there's the primal to start this one off. If he can get a support off the ledge, it'd be really huge.
Oh, the big slam! Ooh, daddy! The big slam by Spades, dropping down 3. Not getting any picks off, but buying the time while UTech's on the primal range. Diva Bomb coming out from Headweaver, taking out to Mighty Wolf, and this could be the fight. Smetty D-Mac in the back, by Senpai. He dies to Baby Diva, small Korean girl, beats the shit out of 35-year-old cowboy. You've seen Batty Overwatch League on Pornhub before, but now you've seen more. The push to the W key. We are fucking, it looks like Pray and Spray has their head removed from their ass, baby.
Big go. Headweaver just got D-Mec'd, and that's a big opportunity for Totsuma Goats here, because it's gonna take some time. Oh, Jesus Christ, he remec'd fast.
Hello.
That's happening, you don't have a
Game
shield.
in the high ground.
Senpai on the high ground. Pasty on the high ground. Senpai on the low ground. Everyone's on the ground. Ground gamers.
So yeah. Hell
Alright,
yeah.
so ult economy has kind of slowed down for the first time in a while here. Chromatic has the EMP available for the pushing team. I'm curious to see if they want to commit it or they want to wait for some more ults, but that's the one to watch right now is UTech back on the ball, which has been a lot more effective than the Winston for most of tonight, as all 12 members have made their way towards this cart. And here we go, EMP comes through and hits 3. They probably wanted to hit more. Checkers has a chance to Valk up in the air, but is already Valk up in the air. All the DPS ults coming through. They're finding a pick a piece as the Mighty Wolf probably wastes the sound barrier there. Unfortunate. As Pray and Spray still stalling this one out. UTech slams and gets the hell out.
Yeah, unlucky there for Mighty Wolf. He probably wants that sound barrier back. But there will be 4 online for this last fight.
They committed maybe the 2 most important ults on their team there instead of waiting it out for another fight. There's going to be a lot of ults available in this next fight. Here we go, UTech going in. A lot of ults being popped nice and early. Albino Joe going down very quick in that fight. That's no sound barrier for Praise Spray, as both of these divas have found the opposing Lucios. Checkers, though, as always, finds the rest of the chaos. Here we go. High noon. Okay, thanks. Looking for something, but that ult isn't too big of a play. Only finds a mech. As there's a lot being traded back and forth, but it looks like Pray and Spray is holding on to this fight. Toads and Ghosts, they're not quite full retreating though, and there's only 15 seconds to play. They either need to commit or get out.
Oh, this is sketchy. Yeah, this is just squishies right now for Toads and Ghosts. They're trying to hold the line against Senpai's McCree, the American shooter himself, and he gets killed by UTech on this, and the EMP from Chromatic as well. This could be huge.
Oh, that EMP Reaper ult, I thought it was going to be bigger than it was, but they were just a little too far miscoordinated, but it might not matter. A very, very panicky ult coming through from the Mighty Wolf in a fight that his team had already won. He may have wanted to save that for the very final meters here. So here we go. Head Reaver trying to touch, but he gets frozen off the cart. Will not, and Pray and Spray cannot make it out. Toads finally finishes what they almost did at the start, and they push all 3 points.
Wow, I didn't even see. Okay, thanks. He snuck in that May pick, and just talk about, like, you know, the perfect alignment of ults to block off the entrance, right? The minefield into the wall there, secure the 3rd point, and they got 3 at the board. Pray and Spray, they have to answer with 3 of their own. This could be it right here.
Yeah, this was really the exact Gibraltar we were scared of going into this. Both point 1 and 2. The biggest thing that happened was Toadsma Goats getting those momentum kills off of bad spawns. That got them most of the ground on this offense. And we saw when Praise was finally able to actually settle in for a defense and switch off that god-awful comp they were starting with, they were actually able to hold for quite a while. Who knows what would have happened on another map where they actually get to establish their footing more than once on defense.
Yeah, and I think the big thing was Head Reaver switching over to the Diva. He swapped off the ball, stopped playing into his counter. Chromatics basically 100% insta-lock Sombra at this point, and switched over to Diva, and they also had McCree and Reaper, and they basically just stayed in the back line, so their supports just didn't get dove as much, and yeah, they were able to stabilize for, you know, a very, very long time there, but at the end of the day, Toadsma Goats training their ultimates a little bit better, catching them off guard. And okay, thanks on the Ashe, which is a hero we don't see too often in the BOL. We see Dread DPS pull it out from time to time. Okay, thanks
just
here.
as you say that, it looks like Senpai swapping over to it as well. So we're gonna get our first Ashe duel tonight. Both of these teams also running the Moira Mercy. Actually, quite a lot mirrored here. Ryan Diva, the tank core for the offense. As here we go.
Oh, yeah, Head Reaver on this Diva once again, going in a little too hard. You're not playing ball, cannot get out of situations like that as easily as you could, and Senpai forced off the high ground from UTech, and Cardi's pushing Spades is down here on the bottom, but his team is just dying in the back.
Yeah, I was a little worried for Toadsma Goats for a second there, as their supports actually got really split from the rest of their team, but it didn't end up mattering. They were going for this kind of deep hole drop down that you don't see very often, and it worked.
Yeah, there's just a lot of good mobility from their hero picks, right? Mercy, Ashe can obtain the high ground pretty easily. Dive tanks, obviously. Chromatic, obviously. And like all of these people have pretty easy high ground access, so it does work to sort of drop down and drop back up. But UTech going in a little too hard. Okay, thanks for the huge dynamite and the bomb to keep the cart where it's at. The coalescence from Albino Joe trying to clear people out of the space, but maybe not too effective here. Ashe v Ashe gameplay. Okay, thanks, coming out on top.
Yeah, okay, thanks. He's up there on the high ground, trying to rain this one down in a fight where his team is outmanned. Smetty's still buying time on this card. Is okay, thanks. Not quite able to get the shots he wants here. But maybe he actually is putting enough pressure to hold, because Toadsma Goats is held.
Yeah, and the EMP is online. The Valkyrie Primal Rage, I mean, they got some good ultimates coming up, especially to stall it out, to really disorganize this Pray and Spray team, which I think ideally wants to try to stick together, but it's going to be really tough. In the EMP battle, right, Tasty has it up as well. It's really a matter of who gets it off first. And Chromatic's going to be the one to pull the trigger. Does he get the enemy Sombra hacked? No. So now Tasty has an opening.
Well, only a 2-man EMP. Chromatic maybe a little too trigger happy there. So here we go. Bob going to try to do something, but it's mostly blocked. Who
Okay.
did that EMP hit?
It hit Bob. The EMP hit Bob. Huge EMP onto Bob. That alone saves that fight. You say that, but Bob is like 1,300 HP. Good EMP. Hog champ.
Oh, regardless, the cart is moving. As Checker's not able to get away from that bomb, and that can be pretty big.
Big bomb coming out from Ted Reaver. Not connecting. The big damage in the back line. Primal Rage out of UTech. Both tanks on this Mega Pack. Spenny gets demeched. UTech's hacked. Ted Reaver trying to make some space here, but his team's all dead. Yikes.
Yikes indeed. Is okay, thanks. Finishes up the mop-up kills here, and now only 70 seconds remaining. Pray and Spray starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, I was about to say a minute on the clock. This is the comms when you're on the team, when you're on Pray and Spray in this situation, they get tense, right? It's like, okay, they keep beating us here. What's the solution, right? We have ultimates. How do we use them? If we lose this fight, it's over. We have to be clutch here. We have to pull this one off. What can they do here? Chromatic with the EMP takes out 4 on the top. Bob gonna hammer away as well. Spades going down. Tasty going down as well. 40 seconds left. Checkers getting Spades back up, but it's a lot of red in the kill feed. Dynamite taking out Checkers as well.
Yeah, the second half of this fight, though, maybe going the way of Pray and Spray, but there's still a few bodies up here on top. UTech just now making another spawn. He's going to stop this cart from pushing.
Yeah,
He's stalling a lot of time here on this Monkey. Okay, they does take out Albino Joe, and now a defense coalescence coming through. They are going to try to get this stop here.
Oh,
that's a big slam! That's a
Gets
huge
3.
slam from Spade! And Senpai dropping the spin to win!
Oh my
Hey,
god,
Steve,
everyone's
it's a-
so low on top of the goat. Okay, thanks, standing on top of the cart. And he will die, and it won't be enough. Overtime enters, but it's gone. Pray and Spray, keep the dream alive.
The slam by Spades there was absolutely huge. Got 3 members, Toads Big Goats down, and then on top of the EMP, Desperation ult's coming in to secure the bag there.
Yeah, desperation was needed, but unfortunately their ult economy is not in the greatest of spots now. UTech, Primal Rage, Smetty, Diva Bob. Okay, thanks with the Bob as well for some more stall action. Okay, thanks. Can he get pressured off this high ground? Really, that seems to be the key here. When he's damage boosted by this Mercy, it's just too devastating, especially with the Dynamite.
Is he gonna be able to DMAX Smetty early?
Checkers
That's
is
very
down.
big. Checkers also goes down. Primal by UTech. Okay, thanks. Picks up 2. Bob coming out.
Yeah, that's feeling like it's going to be enough to mop this fight up for Toadsma Goats as Dano popping the coalescence there, the last ult necessary to finish this fight off. Pray and Spray forced back to their spawn as Head Reaver trying to make his way out with his life. I think he should be able to, as there's really no DPS near him. But UTech is
early.
going deep.
UTech is trying to go early, and that's gonna be his
no.
downfall.
That was, such a monkey brain decision from the monkey. Why, UTech? Your team was in such a good spot to defend here. They needed you alive.
As to quote Swift from Season 4, my debut game in the Baddie Overwatch League, get on point, you stupid monkey. Spades coming out
And
to
the big
take down
EMP
Dano.
comes through. It's been a while. Chromatic hit 5 with it. They're dropping the Demon Bomb. Somehow 5 on the EMP. Doesn't turn into any kills. And now it's an EMP in the other direction that should mop this fight up as Pray and Spray. They are panicking. They are committing every single ult to just a handful of opponents. But that should be enough to secure them this fight. It's taking forever though. The Mighty Wolf is doing a great job of stalling on his gun. He gets the last second res onto UTech before he respawns. Dies for it, but that could have potentially been worth if his team comes through here. But no, I don't think it is going to matter. UTech Primal on the cart. Just going to stall out some time here that I don't think anyone else gets back to this cart. And Pray and Spray, they commit everything, but they do get point 2, and their season is still alive. 1 minute and 45 to play.
Oh man, Pray and Spray, they were basically in the same position they were on first point. The time is ticking, getting down to the wire, but they had every ult available and they just used all of them. Hard to win a fight against that. But only 1 minute 30 left, and it is a very long uphill, literally, battle here for Pray and Spray. Here's the approach. UTech coming in with the slam to start this one off.
Committing their one available also Senpai on this Reaper makes it in the backline, takes out the Mighty Wolf nice and early. Now an EMP going to hit 4 members. Smetty DMAC Checkers does go down though at the end of this Valkyrie, but there's a few more picks going away. The tank, the beeps, all taken off the menu for Toadsma Goats here, as they're not only getting staggered. They're not able to touch this cart, and this might be it for Pray and Spray. They have the advantage. Okay, thanks, who's clutched out so much all night, is not alive any longer.
Big stall picks coming out from a Spades game. The 2K taking the big slam.
Oh!
And that was the biggest slam of his entire career. As Utek and OK Tanks get slammed, Bob comes up, but now before OK Tanks goes down on the ash, and Senpai picking up the rest of the kills with the left click, and we are gonna go into overtime, ladies. Oh! JK, LOL.
We think with that EMP comes through and hits everybody on the cart. It buys time for these stall picks to come through. Everyone is touching. They're very outmanned here.
Senpai with another Death Blossom.
Oh my god, the stall is really good from
And now we're going into overtime, baby.
Yeah, but just too many answers from Pray and Spray.
Oh my
And-
god.
If I hear one more of you guys say that Reaper is a bad pick, I am gonna lose my mind.
No, but Reaper is a bad hero. Great pick in the BOL.
Thank you.
All right. What an insane Gibraltar, both directions in these teams. We've been talking about it, the mental exhaustion that has got to be setting in, and these teams both have to push one more time on, once again, one of the most momentum-based maps in Overwatch, 60 to 69 seconds on the time bank.
This is an absolute momentum swing if you are Pray and Spray. Twice, Totes McGoats had them on the ropes, but as a wise man once said, watch this drive.
I'm out of here.
And Pray and Spray hits the ball 400 meters, yards, golf. They're winning it. I'm calling
And
it.
more important than golf is picking DPS heroes. Pray and Spray has learned, hopefully, at least learned temporarily, don't run this god-awful dumpster 3-3 composition that you've been running. Pick standard, play standard. You only have to win 2 fights, and Pray and Spray is gonna try it. Totes McGoats on the other side with the dive, as we knew.
We knew.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Totes McGoats, they're coming out completely telegraphed, right? Pray and Spray, they come out with the picks that are perfect against it, right? Reaper and Sombra to counter the Sombra Doomfist. And what can they do here? Totes McGoats, they are pushing the cart pretty fast here, but Head Reaver gonna get the stall going.
The mighty Lucio up top, they're gonna be taken out quickly by Senpai. Miscommunication there, and here comes the drop on a point. Spades trying to pick up the kill onto the Doofus by swinging. He's not gonna fight him. He picks up Checkers. Okay, thanks, picks up Tenpai. And we thought the fight was one for Pray and Spray. It looks like it's coming back, but here comes Spades on the top rope, picking up 2. Trades coming out, but the trades are gonna be in favor of Totes McGoats.
And that card is still moving. Pray and Spray gonna have to contest near the end of the point now. There's 10 seconds remaining, so this is it. When Totes McGoats loses a fight, their push will be over. They want to keep this momentum rolling. They're close on some ults, but they don't quite have them yet. Watch for that EMP currently at 90. That could be a big one. Okay, thanks. So he goes deep and he gets Checkers at the start. That's gigantic. Totes McGoats want to keep pushing. Here we go. Reaper ults. EMP's coming through. Everyone pressing Q, but somehow
The big slam!
Spades single-handedly going to stop this push.
Is that Spades or is that Destructive Dude? The 5-man slam, taking your mom to bed with him. And Pray and Spray not giving up on this season.
3-3.
Oh, here it goes. Pray and Spray. They have a few obvious places to hit defense as the gold Rhine maybe has just made the biggest play of the night.
Our Ryan is actually gold. That's a great statement.
What does Totes McGoats have to answer?
He's
The
golden.
unbeatable.
This is Spade's best BOL game ever. Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
it is. He's been just on point.
I mean, granted, he's playing a lot of the times he's not playing against an opposing shield, so a lot of these shatters are free, but he's all over the kill feed, right? He is swinging, and he is getting so many kills in these extended team fights.
Yeah, and Ryan can be pretty hard to play an extended team fight sometime because there's a lot of decision making that you're making with incomplete information because so much happens behind your back. It's hard to know, do I stay on the offense? Should I be shielding? But Spades has had just some great intuition in a lot of these fights, and then obviously the hammers, anyone can see them. So we'll see here if he has one more in the book.
This is it.
Pray and Spray alive.
Yep. And okay, thanks. Doing me solid here. Breaking out the jack of all trades, master of none, Soldier 76, the Big Daddy himself.
Oh God.
This is the pick for
30's on the
extended
high ground.
defense. Okay, thanks on the high ground, and I'm loving every second of it. Senpai on the medium ground, looking for some
The big
sneaky
hack on
picks.
Smitty though. That's a huge hack. Smitty's gonna get D-Max early. If he goes down here, this could be huge.
No, they
Smitty
got
goes down.
checkers though.
But Smitty goes down. Utech's now hacked. The tank core for Toast Magos could go down immediately, and it looks like it's going to. Oh, this is not good for Toast Magos. The season's on the line. It's too big. Oh no, baby. Toast Magos looking like Toast Magos that we've seen all season. The miscommunication. They're down their tank core. It's just
Doing
like
a res
that.
on a Utech though, it's Smetty, full panic mode, rushes out of spawn, gets DMAC'd immediately. Utech trying to get back to this point. If he only hits one there on, my God, only a fraction of a meter remaining before Totes Magoats is eliminated from the Vanny Overwatch League. But Utech is stalling for so long, but these health bars are so low for Totes Magoats. I don't think clutches. Okay, thanks, Utech both down. The coalescence is coming through. Chromatic is barely alive. He's holding on, trying to buy time. Enough for an EMP. Will it matter? Smetty, Dano, the Mighty Wolf, all touching, all dying, and Pray and Spray barely do it, but barely is good enough. Pray and Spray 3-2 moves on to playoff dab.
Wow, that's.
And
That
I need to
was a real
comment
close
on
one.
this. It's my boy Senpai. We've been rooting for the Reaper pick. I have been the big slam by Spades. The big shotguns by Senpai. Absolute mammoth of a play. We'll see ya in round 2 of the playoffs, baby. That was hot. That was hot. That was hot. I'm not lying to you. I need to be checked out. That was hot. Holy shit, that was hot, dude. You could not have asked for a better game from Senpai. He popped off when popped off was needed. Absolute bonkers game. But we also got to give MPP personally of that match to Spades. His Reinhardt play is better than ever. He came out huge, and he's going to need to provide that for next match. Ooh.
Yeah, because next
tough.
match is coming up fast, folks. So stick around. We've got Pray and Spray playing the back-to-back up against Fine Dining and Breathing. So stick around.